welcome to the shop. First episode, excited to get started. So here it goes. Today's project, we're going to be router sledding this table down to thickness. Epoxy finally cured. Everything is finally in line. So I'm going to show you how to build the router sled and how to adjust it and how to do it all in today's video. So stick around and let's see how it's done. So these are my guides on either end of the table. This will be my sled. Made from 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches angle iron, where my router is gonna glide right in the middle here. Back and forth, like so, okay? Now, the main thing is there's no deflection from the router, which I do not see any. Because as it goes to the center, it's going to want to dip down. So as long as it's going back and forth smoothly, that's good. So now I need to grab some more and weld so that spacing stays the same. Alright, I got everything laid out. The piece cut 6 3/8, slightly elevated to avoid the round over of this corner. So it gives me exact measurement. I got my magnet for a 90. I'm just gonna be welding today with, no joke, a $100 Amazon special stick welder. Right here. This is what I'm using. And there we go. Now, I'm not a professional welder by any means, but with the stick weld, honestly, anyone can do it. All right, so back at the table, just gonna clean this metal up, and we will definitely want to use some wax to wax up the rails and the base of the router so that it will glide much smoother. I'm just gonna use this paste wax here. One can will literally last you forever. And longer. Let's keep it. Look at that glide. All right, this is where I'm at. I got my rails adjusted. They are level from side to side and from front to back. So all the way around here. I got them secured to the base of the table. I got my sled in place. That's how it turned out. It's all waxed up. I got my router adjusted so I can take about eighth plus at a time, just so it doesn't bog down, I don't get much tear out. These rails will be sacrificial, so when the router comes past here, it will not tear out as much as it would. I might even close up that gap a little bit better. And there we go. So I'm gonna set up the camera on the tripod and get a test run going. Alright, wanted to show you how it's working. So there it is. Very, very clean cut. Look at that. Just perfect side to side. And that is what I have to do to the rest of the table. And of course, I gotta get all the way down to there. So that's the thickness I gotta take off. It's gonna be a while. All right, first pass is done. As you can see, where I got all the high spots off and everything's shiny, it's still low spots. But it is working super good. No deflection, and you'll know if you have deflection if you have little ridges, inconsistencies in your worked surface, which I do not. And the goal is not to push on your router when you're in the middle of the table. So if you got the router here and you're applying too much pressure, you could get a little bow. So just let the router do the routing, no pushing, just help it along. Now I got it cleaned off. I'm gonna set up for round 2. All right, second pass complete. We are down to the wire. Look at that, only 1/4 inch plus left. It is looking good. So I'm gonna go ahead and get set back up. Third, probably one more. So 4 passes, and this one will be perfectly level. was pass number 8. I thought I could get away with only doing 5 passes, but turned out I needed more. So that was 8 passes. There's the final product. Now I gotta fill holes. I need to sand. So there's some lot of finishing touches left I need to do. The blade was already getting dull towards the end. It's a lot to do with one blade, but I'm very pleased with how it turned out. Alright guys, well, that wraps up this episode. That was 4 hours of planing with the router sled. The bit did great, the router did phenomenal. The sled that we built in the very beginning of this episode worked out better than I expected. So material cost on that was only $35 for the metal, and if you have a welder, if you don't, it's an extra $100. So sure beats buying a professional one that they sell for about $600. That wraps up this episode. If you guys liked what you saw, you guys can come back for episode 2, where we'll be sanding and finishing this table up. So till then, bye.